What's up, Fins Army? It's Dave Wave back with another video. We've gotten more good news on Tua, who released a statement to the fans letting us know that he's all right and that he's feeling pretty good right now. There's some optimism that he could be back in action soon. I'm going to go ahead and read his statement. This is what he said. He said, "I want to thank everyone for all of the prayers and support since the game last night. It was difficult to not be able to finish the game and be there with my teammates, but I am grateful for the support and care I've received from the Dolphins, my friends and family, and all the people who have reached out. I'm feeling much better and focused on recovering so I can get back out on the field with my teammates. Hashtag TT4G, hashtag Fins Up." Now, Coach McDaniel did speak with the media and he confirmed that Tua's doing much better. He also confirmed that Teddy B is going to be quarterback number 2 if Tua has to miss time. Here's some of what he said during media veils when they asked him about that.
I presume the answer is yes, but Teddy would start if Tua doesn't play.
Yeah, no, Teddy would start, and guys have a lot of confidence in him, and guys have confidence in our whole quarterback room, really. It's one of the strengths of our football team, and I think the guys rely on that. So, Tua, Teddy, and Skylar have formed a great working group, and our guys believe in all three of them.
How has Skylar come along over the last month, just observing scout team work, etc.?
Yeah, no, he's done it. Skylar's been what you guys know Skylar to be. He's just working constantly, and then when he's on the field, he'll make some plays. So he's in a great spot too. So feel very fortunate to have those two guys.
So who should we start? Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater? I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I think and give y'all my opinion. I think it depends. It depends on how long Tua's going to be out. If he's going to miss more than 5 weeks, I'd like us to sign a free agent like quarterback Levi Lewis, who's left-handed and has great ability, in my opinion. He's got signed by the Seattle Seahawks, but then he got released. And if you've been following me since the draft, y'all know I had him on my draft board. He was in the late rounds, like round 6 or round 7, or maybe an undrafted free agent, but I definitely had him on our draft board because he's left-handed. He has mobile ability, and I think he can pretty much run a lot of the same plays that we have Tua running. I feel like we need to have a left-hander on the practice squad at least, so we got somebody that's similar to Tua just in case he does get hurt. Or I believe, and I know y'all gonna kill me for this, but I believe maybe RG3 might be a good option as well. Because he's familiar with Mike McDaniel's system. I know he's working for ESPN right now, but I'm sure he's in shape. And I believe with a couple of weeks of practice, he could probably get up to speed enough for Mike to have a winning game plan for him. They worked together when he was with Washington. So I know it's an underrated pick, but it's a player that I think with given a couple weeks, I think he can come in and make and win some games. Add one of those two, and then I would start Skylar Thompson so that we could see him against elite players and elite starters. If Tua's going to be out for just a game or two, 5 weeks or less, then I want Teddy Bridgewater to start because he's proven that he can not only be a bridge over troubled water, but he could also be a bridge to a winning season. In the next 5 weeks, you look at who we face. We got Zach Wilson, who's coming off of an injury, Kirk Cousins, Mitchell Trubisky, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, and David Mills. Really, the only quarterback who scared me on this list is Jared Goff. Kirk Cousins, he scares me too, but not as much as Jared Goff. The Lions have actually been scoring a lot of points so far this season, and their defense is not good, but their offense is underrated in my opinion. DeAndre Swift is a problem, and I think he got a bright future in this league. But I believe we could run the table and beat those teams with Bridgewater under center if he got to play, if we got to have him start. I believe Teddy is definitely an upgrade over Jacoby Brissett, who we had last year. who filled in when Tua got hurt. And that bomb that he threw to Tyreek in the Bengals game definitely gave me hope that our deep gains will still be there if he played. So I'm not worried about those things. Now, when you look at the pros and cons with us starting him, the pros, obviously, experience and his tenure in the league, playing for different franchises in different systems, his time with the Saints, and what former head coach Sean Payton said a few weeks ago when he was on the Colin Cowherd show. Those are the reasons why I'm leaning more towards Teddy. Before the Ravens and the Buffalo games, Colin had Sean on the herd, and he was talking like Teddy could take to his job. You know, that's pretty much the slant that he had. And he said not because of injury either. It's because he's drawn up plays for him. He's seen how he executes game plans. And yeah, he threw the interception in the game, but Teddy, I feel like, is really good when he's prepared. When he has enough preparation and, he's prepared, I think he can be a good quarterback. And, he gets the ball out fast. And he's delivered in situations like this before. When you look at when Breeze got hurt back in 2019, similar situation to this. He was able to fill in and he balled for the Saints. Y'all go back and watch the tape. You see the footage on the side. He balled for the Saints. They went 5-0 when he was in there. I looked at when he got drafted. He was with Coach John Gruden during Gruden's playbook or Gruden's film. You know how Gruden interviews the quarterbacks that's coming into the draft, puts them on the board, and has them draw up different plays and explain the plays, because Gruden is a West Coast coach, and he wants to know that you as the quarterback know what you're looking at when there's zone, when there's cover 2, cover 3. He wants to know that you know where the progressions are at, and Teddy did a good job of illustrating that. Check out this clip.
Now, this is a route I just want to do some work with.
Okay.
I've been studying this pattern for about 20 years. So let's call up a tramp's right up there,
Okay.
the 3-receiver surface. What are you calling this right here, where you got the 2 unders?
Okay, we're calling this bash.
Bash?
Yes, sir. With the corner, it's bash.
I want to spend about 15 minutes on bash. I want to get into your grill on this one. I want to get into your mental background on this play. So how do you read bash? What's the rules on bash? Which side do you pick?
On bash, when I first come out, I'm looking over here to my single receiver. If I have one-on-one, often soft, or just single high one-on-one coverage, we call this a box alert. Call it a gift. Take the gift. If he comes down and bump, and it's still single high, if I know his man, it's gonna convert to a fade.
Love it. Like that.
So I can take that. But if I play bash, this is the foundation. So I'm reading it. I'm reading 1 to 2 to 3. And I have 4 right here.
How come you read it like that, Teddy? How come he's number 1? I mean, there's a lot of times you know he's not going to get it.
Just reading it based on coverage. If it's cover 2 look, I'm going to high-load the corner, treat it like smash, treat it like inside smash. So I'm going after this corner. He'll be the movement key. If he's back, I'll just bang it here. If he stays down, then I'll have that whole shot if he can leverage this field safety.
I always read it, they're number 1. They're
Okay.
number 2. That was number 3.
Oh, okay.
And that was an alert.
Right. So versus man, this is an alert also. All corner routes in our offense were man alerts. So I can come out, if I get quarters coverage or anything like that, I know this corner's often soft quarters look. I can just bang this all day, this hitch.
I just see the Mike linebacker in those Tampa 2
Right.
coverages. He's running out.
Right.
He's running out. I see Wes Welker going, "Toop." Gain of
Right.
14,
Yep.
gain of
So,
9, gain of 12,
right.
play a different coverage.
Right.
I won't complete 100 of them in a
yeah.
row.
Whenever I see that Tampa 2, I see that Mike just skating out of there, I'm automatically replacing him. That's how I was taught. That's why a lot of times when we saw Tampa 2, just check it down to the back. There's no one there. So in this case, if I saw Tampa 2, I'll just bang it right there.
You're good, man.
And now let's go back to 2019. In March, following the heartbreaking NFC Championship loss to the LA Rams, the Saints ended up signing Teddy Bridgewater. We were going to sign Bridgewater instead of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I truly believe that if we did, he would have been our starter this whole time. I think he would have been our starter right now. And I think that, you know, he was hearing that we was tanking for Tua and felt like, you know, he had a better shot to be the starter with New Orleans since Breeze was retiring. And I think he had intel that, you know, he kind of had a time frame as to when Breeze was going to retire. So he spurned us and tweeted, "Run it back, Turbo." Had his tweet, and they showed him in the locker room, you know, doing his motorcycle dance. He was excited to be with the Saints, and, you know, he announced that he was returning to New Orleans. He ended up signing a 1-year deal with them, and that made him the highest paid backup quarterback in the NFL at the time. He got a good chunk of change with them. They paid him $7 million for just 1 year. And this is after only one game that he started since a near career-ending injury that he had with the Vikings in their camp in 2016. But he came in and he balled. After Drew Brees went down in week 2, he didn't disappoint. With the Tampa Bay game being one of his best, he went over 300 yards through the air, tying a career high with 4 touchdowns. I think he did that when he was with Minnesota. Breeze ended up coming back after the Bears game, and the Saints ended up finishing 13-3 and won the NFC South in 2019. So if you take away them 5 wins that he won with the Saints, they would have finished 8-8, and they'd have been a 500 team. So you can't discredit exactly what he did. He balled out for them, and he helped keep that ship sailing. Now here comes the cons to starting Teddy. Teddy, I don't know if he's motivated. I don't know how motivated he is to play. That's the only thing I'm worried about. It seemed like when he believed he got a chance to be the starter and be the guy, or he needs to prove himself, he balls and he plays as good as any quarterback in the league. From what I saw in the preseason, it really didn't look like he was that motivated because he knew Tua was going to be the starter. I don't even know how. I think he was like, all right, yeah, I'll sign with the Dolphins finally. He did have some drops from Braylon Sanders, but I think Skylar did outplay him. Speaking of Skylar, now, which I know y'all been wanting to get to this. Y'all been wanting me to hurry up, finish talking about Teddy and talk about Skylar. Here's the pros and cons to starting Skylar over Teddy Bridgewater. Obviously, the pros is that he looked amazing in the preseason games that we saw. I mean, you look at his stats. He finished 450 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, completing 75% of his passes, and posted a 138.4 rating. Thompson got a strong arm, cool under pressure, which I noticed in the preseason, and he's pretty much a mature rookie. You know, he's 25 years old, meaning there's possibly 30 players on our team right now that's younger than him. Even Tua, he got Tua about 1 year. You know, he's 1 year older than Tua. Tua's 24. But you can tell he handles himself well in the pocket. Good awareness. And I remember the game, I think it was the Raiders game in the preseason where he dropped the snap prior to his 3rd touchdown pass. The ball bounced to him. He scooped it up and still ran, carried out the fake handoff, rolled out and hit Lynn Bolton in the flat for a short pass that Bowden was able to take 39 yards for a touchdown. And I ain't gonna lie, myself included, after the fans saw that, a good amount of them was saying that they was even thinking that Skylar should be the starter over Tua, which is ridiculous. But I ain't gonna lie, man, Skylar looked pretty good. But, you know, here come the cons. There's a reason why he was low on draft boards. He only threw 12 touchdowns. He didn't throw for a lot of yards in college. I think some of that was the fact that he wasn't asked to be the focal point of their offense, which says something. But also, I think the Wildcats was dedicated to being more of a running team, so they ran the ball quite a bit, and that could have been the reason. But he ran in a pro-style like system at Kansas. I mean, Carson Wentz, Easton Stick, and Trey Lance came out of the same offense pretty much. I mean, Easton Stick ain't really that good, but Trey Lance came from the same system. So that's why I think that is part of the reason why he played so good in the preseason was that he has experience running a pro style offense. When I watched his tape last year against the Baylor Bears, that was a game that I feel like he should have won against a team ranked 11th in the country. He didn't play bad. I mean, he didn't really play bad, but he didn't do enough to really will his team to victory. He had lots of time to throw on most plays. I can't blame it on his O-line. Y'all watch the tape. He had time to throw, clean pocket, and his defense even gave him opportunities to win. He just didn't carry him on his shoulders. He didn't show that. It's one thing to play well and have good numbers. It's another thing to be clutch and be able to win and will your team to victory. That's the difference. Tua, as a backup in Alabama, was able to will his team to victory when he did get in there in the national championship game. Skylar, he wasn't able to will his team to victory against the Baylor Bears. So those are some concerns. But that doesn't mean that he can't play in this league. That doesn't mean he can't play. And it also doesn't mean that balling against third stringers in the preseason means that he can play. So, but looking back, I thought it was a smart move to have Skylar play the whole game in his first preseason. That's another thing that I think probably gives fans optimism is we seen him play a whole game and he played well. So I'm kind of neutral with this. I'm neutral on one hand. Like I said, depends on the circumstance. Y'all let me know in the comment section, do y'all think we should go with Skylar Thompson? I'm pretty sure most of y'all are going to say yes, but really, really think about it. Based on what I showed y'all, what I talked about in this video, really give it some thought and really analyze it. Should we go with Teddy B or should we go with Skylar Thompson? I'll let y'all decide. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Be sure to subscribe to the Big Fish Network on YouTube. Till next time, signing off. Y'all know what it is. TBFN.